Hello students, in this session let us discuss on the second chapter of module 3, that is connecting devices. We have already studied the types of connecting devices in the previous sessions. Let us discuss on these types in details in this chapter. If a station or host or a network has to send data to one more station, then there should be a connection between them. So connecting devices are most commonly used to establish this connection. Different hosts are connected together to make a network, or networks are connected together to make an internet. So connecting of different networks or different hosts is achieved by using the connecting devices. So the figure shows the TCP/IP protocol suite where there are 5 layers and the different types of connecting devices that are used in different layers. The connecting devices are mostly used by the network layer, data link layer and the physical layer. So the first type of connecting device is hub, and it is used or it is operated in the physical layer or the first layer of TCP/IP protocol suite. The link layer switches can be operated in data link layer and physical layer, or the first two layers of TCP/IP protocol, whereas router is used or can be operated by the first 3 layers, that is network link layer, data link layer and physical layer. Let us discuss about the first connecting device, that is hubs. So an hub is a connecting device that operates in the physical layer. We have discussed in TCP/IP protocol suite that data in the data link layer will be in the form of frames. From data link layer, the data is sent to the physical layer where it is converted to bits. From physical layer, the data is transmitted to the transmission medium. So to transmit in the transmission medium, the bits are converted into signals. So signals that carry information within a network can travel only a specified distance. For example, we know the transmission medium or a channel, the signal gets corrupted easily because noises gets added in the channel. So what happens here is, before the signal is attenuated or it becomes corrupted, the signal is given as an input to the repeater. So the repeater receives the signal before it becomes too weak or corrupted, and then it regenerates the original bit pattern. So this original signal is then transmitted in the transmission medium. Standard Ethernet or Ethernet LAN uses star topology. In star topology, the repeater is normally known as hubs. So in the figure we can see the star topology where the 4 stations, that is station A, station B, station C, station D, are connected to a common device called hub. Now if station A has sent data to station B, then the station A will send data to the hub. The transmission type in hub is broadcast. That means hub will send the data sent by A to all the 4 stations. Based on the destination address, station B will identify that the station A has sent the data to my station. It will retain that data, whereas station C and station D will discard the data. In other words, up does not have the filtering capability. Also, ups regenerate the corrupted bits. As I told before, ups in star topology is nothing but the repeater, where the function of a repeater is to receive the corrupted bits and regenerate it into the original bit pattern. Once it is regenerated, it will send that data to other stations or send them out from every port. Link layer switch, or commonly called as switch, operates in physical layer as well as data link layer. In the physical layer, the link layer switch is able to regenerate the signal it receives. That means it will function like a repeater where corrupted signals are regenerated to original bit pattern and then it is transmitted to the destination station. In link layer device or in link layer, data link layer, this switch is able to check the MAC address of source and destination which is contained in the frame. Let us consider an example where there are 4 stations, station 1, 2, 3, 4, or you can say station A, B, C and D, and the MAC address of each station is given below. Based on the MAC address, the port number of each station is updated in the switching table. Now, let us consider the source address to be 61:41 and the destination address to be 61:42. In other words, station A has to send data to station B. So, the station A will send the data and it is received by the switch. So, the switch will refer the switching table and will check which port number will receive the data. So, from the switching table, 61:41 will be sent to port 1 and it will also check the destination port number by referring the destination MAC address. So, from the switching table, it will identify it as to send to port 2. So, it is received by the port 1 and data is transmitted via port 2. That is nothing but data is sent directly to station B rather than the type of communication to be broadcast. So, we can say a link layer switch as the filtering capability. Transparent switch is a switch in which stations are completely unaware of the switch existence. That means if a switch is added or deleted, reconfiguration of stations is not necessary in such cases. So, system equipped with the transparent switches must meet the 3 criteria. That means frames must be forwarded from one station to another. It should not be in isolation. Switches should not be isolation. They should be forwarding the frames from one station to other. The forwarding table is automatically updated by learning frame movements in the network, and there should not be any loops. So, loops in the system must be prevented. These are the three criteria that should be taken care when we are using transparent switches. The three criteria of using transparent switches are: transparent switch must forward the frames correctly from the source address to the destination address. Second one is learning from frame movements. Earlier, updation of switching table was done manually or it was static. The system administrator had to manually update the switching tables. This method was not practical because whenever there was a addition or deletion of a station, then the entire table need to be modified manually. Therefore, to overcome this issue, updation of switching table was done automatic. This is done by making the switch learn from the frame movements. So the switch inspects both the destination and the source address that was contained in the frame whenever it passes through the switch. The destination address is required to forward the frame to the proper destination, and source address is needed to update or add entries in the table and update purpose. The figure shows an example how a switch learns from frame movement and updates the switching table. So in the figure we can see there are 4 stations and the respective MAC address of each station. We have a switch with respective port number. So the switching table will have the address of the station and the respective port number. This has to be updated whenever a frame is sent from the source to the destination or whenever a frame is passed through a switch. The switch will inspect the source address and update the switching table. So let us consider the first condition where station A is sending frame to D. So the source address for station A or the MAC address for station A is 61:41, and whenever station A sends the frame, we can see port number 1 receives the frame. So the port number for the respective MAC address is updated in the switching table. The second case where station D is sending a frame, so the source address of D and the port number of station D is automatically updated in the switching table. Similarly, the switching address for B and the the MAC address and the port number of station B and station C is updated in the switching table. So in this way, a switch learns whenever there is a frame movement and updates the switching table automatically. So in the last diagram or last table, we can see all the port numbers or the MAC address of all the stations is been successfully updated in the switching table. In this session, we discussed about UPS, link layer switches, and 2 criteria of using transparent switches. So in the next session, we'll discuss on the third criteria, that is loop problems in the system, how to prevent it using spanning tree algorithm, and about routers. Thank you.